Welcome back to Chaz's Tasty Times. Today we're making a pizza dough that uses a biga. This dough recipe is going to blow your mind. What is a biga, you might ask? A biga is a pre-fermented dough that is going to make your dough super fluffy and crunchy, and it also makes it super digestible according to our Italian ancestors. So now, the biga needs to sit in the fridge for 48 hours. Yes, I did say 48 hours. My wife's like, what? By allowing it to sit in the fridge, this allows the pre-fermentation process to occur. And so I don't want you to be a scaredy cat. Some people might say that, oh, this is 48 hours, you're crazy, what are you talking about? So the first part is super easy. When we make the biga, it's very, very easy. And it just takes a little bit of planning on that second day when you're making the pizza. Now, before you have a cow, before you shoot me with an arrow in my head, before you set a hive of bees on me, or cook me with lava, or whatever, look at the end product. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Fluffy and crunchy. Looks amazing. The day you make the pizzas, you're gonna need to set aside 2 or 3 hours to make the pizza, so make sure you plan this appropriately. But it's very easy and it's gonna be an amazing end product, and if you don't like this, then you kinda suck. This pizza recipe is gonna make 4 pizza doughs. Don't be scared, just make it. I think you'll really like it. So if you like this video, if you like my channel, please like, share, and subscribe. Okay, tell your friends, it helps the channel out. Remember that biga is always better. Let's do this. Now, we're gonna make the biga. So you're gonna need a bowl. You're gonna need 200 grams of preferably 00 flour. I'm using bread flour. So what you'll do is you'll take your flour and put it in a big bowl, okay? And then you're going to add 5 grams of instant dry yeast, okay? And then you're gonna just get your pan there and just mix it up really nicely, okay? The reason 00 flour is used is because it's ground very finely, and it's kind of a pizza flour. It's used mainly in Napolitano type pizzas in Italy. The last step is that you're gonna need 100 grams of room temperature water. Okay, and again, don't be afraid of these grams. Just buy yourself a super sweet scale and you'll be able to figure this out. So pour your water into the flour and yeast mixture and then just get your little palm there and just mix it around. Now this is gonna turn out very ratty looking and dry, and that's exactly what you want. So we'll just mix this up and I'll show you what it looks like at the end.
Speed up now. Is this getting a good view? No. Kitty's gonna start climbing up my leg. Hi Kitty. Hi Kitty.
Okay, you'll see that this looks super ratty. It's definitely not hydrated. What you're gonna do next is you're gonna put it in an airtight container, and then you're gonna put it in your refrigerator for 48 hours. Throw your lid on, clamp it down real tight, stick it in your fridge. All right, I pulled this out of the fridge. This has been about 24 hours since we put together our biga. You can see that it's starting to bubble. It's becoming nice and fermented. So, at 48 hours, I pulled the biga out of the fridge, and then you're going to want to let this sit on the counter for about an hour and let it come to room temperature. You can still see that it's pretty bubbly and looks really nice. Okay, then what you're gonna do is you're gonna pull your biga out of your container and you're gonna rip it up and put it into your bowl. Just like this, just rip it up. Don't be scared. Now that my biga's ripped up, I'm gonna put on my paddle attachment. And then you're gonna raise it up. And then you're gonna put in 500 grams of water. And go ahead and mix it just on one. And the purpose of this is to get your biga mixed up a little bit. And you're gonna mix this until the water becomes milky. Okay, go ahead and turn it off. You can see that it's nice and milky. So then you're going to take off your paddle tool, and then you're going to put on your dough hook. Nice. And then you're going to pour in half of your flour. And then start it on a number 1, and then we'll turn it up a little bit later. Okay, after a few minutes, you're going to throw in 15 grams of salt, and we're going to put the rest of the flour in there. And then we're going to let this mix for 15 minutes straight and let things incorporate really nicely. Okay, once that mix is really good, I'm going to go ahead and turn this up to number 2. Okay, so what you're looking for is a pretty sticky dough. I think this is probably still a little bit dry. It's pretty sticky, it's sticking in my hands, but I kind of want this really sticky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add about 25 grams more water to this and see if we can get it to the right consistency. So this is starting to get really nice. I'm going to add probably another 25 grams of water. So that's a total of 450 grams of water. So I'm going to mix this really good, and then we'll see how it looks. I'm going to mix it for another 5 minutes. Okay, you can see that's nice and sticky, totally sticking to my hand. So I think that's probably a pretty good consistency. Okay, so you're going to turn out your dough onto your work surface. Okay, makes a nice slappy sound. Okay, so this is kind of important. What you're going to want to do here is grab your dough from the side, lift it up, okay, and pull it and get crazy here and move it over. So you're going to do this a bunch of times, okay? So you grab from below, turn, grab, pull, flop to the side, and it's super sticky. So you're going to want to keep doing this, I don't know, for 10 minutes or so. This high hydration dough helps to make your crust super fluffy, crunchy, and delicious. You take your scraper, clean up the edges. So after about 5 or 10 minutes of flipping the dough, developing the gluten, you're going to take your mixing bowl and just put it over the top, and you're going to let it sit for 30 minutes. All right, it's sat for 30 minutes. Give your dough a little pat, say hello again. Okay, get your edges kind of peeled up. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab the edges again, flip and pull. Grab it, the edges, flip and pull. Grab it from the sides, flip and pull. And it's actually feeling much better right now, much stronger. You can see that it's smoother. Flip and pull. Love your dough. Develop your gluten. Develop Mr. Gluten. When you've done that, then go ahead and cover it. And we're going to let it sit for another 10 minutes. And then we're going to divide it up into 4 little dough balls, 3 or 4 little dough balls, depending on how much they weigh. And then we're going to let it sit for 2 hours. Okay, after 10 minutes, uncover our dough. Then I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to weigh this so I know how much to make each of the dough balls. Get your dough ball nice and lovely looking. Okay, nice. And then what you're going to do next is you're actually going to cut this down the center, and you're going to make 2 long strips. Okay, 2 long strips. So we're going to get a pan, and we're just going to very lightly dust this with flour, because this is where we're going to put our dough balls. Because after you get them in to the sizes that you want, you're going to let this sit for 2 hours for a final proof before you make them into the pizza. We're gonna make 4 dough balls that weigh about 296 grams. Okay, what you wanna do is just kind of lightly flour your hands because this dough is still gonna be pretty sticky. So you're gonna weigh these out to be 296 grams a piece. And there's different ways of doing this, but you can just roll the edges under. And the goal is to get this top super smooth. Okay, makes a nice little dough ball. Okay, and you're gonna put it on your pan. And then you're just gonna sort of stagger these on your tray because they're gonna expand. And then you wanna lightly dust the surface because you're gonna put some saran wrap over the top of this and let these sit for 2 hours. But they're nice and wiggly and they feel nice and strong. Okay, about 1 hour from cook time, you're gonna put in your pizza stone, or you can do a baking sheet, whatever you want to. And you're gonna get this preheated because you want this super nice and hot. So you're gonna put it on bake at 500 degrees and hit start and just let it do its thing. Okay, they've been sitting for 2 hours. Look how big and fluffy and puffy these things are. They are just gosh dang amazing. Oh, they're just totally filled with air. Lovely. Okay, that's what you're gonna do next. You're gonna get a little flour. You're gonna dust these. And I'm using about 50% regular flour and 50% semolina. Okay? And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna just get underneath these edges here. A little bit there. I'm a little crowded here, but okay, scoop one of these puppies up. Okay, they look lovely. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna plop it in your flour. Okay, totally bubbled up. Okay, and then flip it over. Get it nice and floury. And then you're gonna put it on your work surface. You want to throw a little flour down on your work surface so it doesn't stick. Now this is important. You need to squeeze, press from the center out. And your goal is to create a nice, fluffy crust. So don't push out the air where the crust is at, or your crust will not be fluffy and crunchy. Okay, so just press it out.
Okay, try not to tear any holes in it. Okay, pull and turn. Just kind of pull this out, stretch it, use your hands a little bit to kind of move around the edges, stretch it a little bit bigger. Okay, get that nice, but keep those edges as puffy as possible. Okay.
Get rid of your excess flour, put down your dough. And the next thing is you're gonna put on your sauce. And this sauce, you can find the recipe for this pizza sauce on my Detroit pizza video. So check it out, the sauce is super yummy. So put on there. So put on as much as you want, make it go up to the edges. Okay. Excellent. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna pinch this, okay? And scoop it right on. And then you're gonna stretch your pizza out into a nice 10 to 12 inch pizza. Okay, pinch the edges, pinch it out really nicely. Looks wonderful. And then we like to put a little Parmesan on here. Okay, dust with a little Parm. And then we're gonna put it in the oven and cook it for 5 minutes. Okay, you'll see that the oven is heated up to 500 degrees. Make sure you do it for an hour. You're gonna take your pizza in there and just stick it right on there. And you're gonna let it cook for 5 minutes. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a Napolitano pizza. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna put on some fresh mozzarella from the store since it's not fresh from cows. Okay, put on there as much as you want. All right, looks quite nice. This smells amazing. You guys, if you don't love this, then you don't love pizza. Okay, and then we're gonna put a little bit of olive oil around the edge, okay? Just a touch of olive oil. This will help to brown up the crust a little bit. Okay, then we're gonna stick it back in the oven and let it get nice and bubbly, then we'll pull it out. Alright, it's been sitting in the oven for a couple minutes. Holy crap. Oh my goodness. Look at that amazing pizza. If you don't love that, then you suck. Alright, to top off our Napolitano pizza, we're gonna throw some nice basils on there, okay? Very traditional. Throw a little basil on there. Maybe a little hit of oil. And that's what you do. Ooh. Fluffy and crunchy. Okay, let's take a look at this. Okay, that looks just gosh dang amazing. Nice and fluffy. Okay, nice and fluffy. Okay, let's eat this puppy. This is so good. Oh, it's so good. So hot. Pretty good. You should make this. The dough has a nice sour dough flavor to it, but super fluffy and crunchy. The dough is wonderful. It's good pizza. I dare you to make it. Like, share, subscribe, tell your neighbors. Can't get more fluffier than that. That's Fluffy Town. And then I'm gonna take, and the great thing is about it, so this allows the, pre-fermented, okay. So by allowing it to sit in the fridge, this allows the pre-fermented. Marcy, how you do? Okay. How you do? Gotta hike up my shorts. We good? Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Fluffy and crunchy. It looks amazing. Why don't you sit?